Hey, I'm Jessica, and welcome to Reality Check. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode where I check off your list with Love Island episodes 6 and 7. I think we gotta get some new men in here. Honestly, I am really enjoying this season, but I don't know what it is. Love is Blind, Love Island, all of these men, I swear, every single season I say we need new men. I am not really loving the men, let's be honest. And there's one girl in particular I am also really annoyed with, and I think all of you listening know exactly who I am talking about. Huda is honestly on my last nerve. Honestly, she is on my last nerve, and she is just so annoying, doing the most. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about her. I don't know if she's just trying too hard. I don't know if she just is trying to do the most to get the most airtime, to be someone that I guess everyone online is talking about. I don't know what she's trying to do. I don't know if she's putting on an act. I don't know if this is just her in real life. Regardless, it's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. And I don't know how Jeremiah, 6-7 episodes in, isn't jumping ship. I don't know if he's waiting for something better. I hope. I mean, I'm sure he is. I don't know. There's a part of me too where I'm like, I feel like he's just scared to leave her. I feel like he's scared by her. Like, I literally think he is so intimidated by her and he's scared. That's what I think. So, needless to say, episodes 6 and 7 did not disappoint. And it all started with the drama of Ace and Amaya. Right after the recoupling, Ace and Amaya go for a chat. And he essentially tells her that he wants to explore other connections, and so should she. And she was so upset by it. And to the point where she was in tears and running to Huda in tears, but she was like, why would you say this to me now? Like, I am on cloud 9. You chose me. My number one choice chose me over Chelley. And first of all, the fact that Ace chose Amaya over Chelley is beyond me. I really don't understand it. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he is I just think he's there for the vibes. I don't think he's there for anything serious. Him not choosing Chelley in that moment, to me, makes it seem that he's just there to just be on Love Island and to have a good time. Because why wouldn't he couple up with Chelley? Because I think in his mind, he's like, if I couple up with Chelley, then are we going to go down this path of being way too serious too soon? And I want to explore. I want to play the field. I want to be with all these different people. That's what I really think is going on in his mind. So when he coupled up with Amaya and then 10 seconds later tells her that he wants to be open and she should be open too, it's showing his cards. And he's telling her he's an extremely slow burner for affection. He's not touchy. He's like, don't touch me, essentially. No kissing outside of the challenges. No cuddling on the first night. All of these things. And she's just turns around to him and it's like, you're giving me player vibes. And I do have to agree with her. Like, I think he could have waited to have this conversation the next day. Like, it didn't need to happen right after the recoupling. And I agree with her on that. There's a lot of things about Amaya I don't necessarily agree with, and I'm not on her side, but I do agree. I think it's just the time or place, and I don't think that was the right time or place. And she tells him, like, you're my number one, and you're essentially just, like, crushing my feelings right now because now my number one pick is not necessarily into me like I thought you were. And I don't know why. And I think too, him saying to her, don't touch me, I'm a slow burner. It's really just like, okay, I picked you, but I actually don't want to be with you. Like, I'm coupled up with you, but I actually don't want to be coupled up with you. And I don't want to do coupled up things together. And it's just, I don't understand his intentions. It's really confusing. It's confusing for me. It's confusing for her. And honestly, these two are just oil and water. That saying, they just do not go well together at all. And she, I think it was the next day where she goes up to him and is calling him babe. And she's just like, she calls everyone babe. And I noticed that throughout her being on the show. She calls the girls that, she calls the guys that. Like, it's not a relationship type word for her. She just says it to everyone. And there's people like that. I'm not like that at all. That word is not in my vocabulary whatsoever, but there is a lot of people like that. Like, even girls, they'll say, hey babe, how's it going? Like, I'm not that way at all, but I know where she's coming from, where she's just like, that's literally that's what I say. That's how I greet people. That's a saying of mine that kind of just, comes out naturally. And he had to sit down with her and was like, I need you to not call me that. I need you to not call me that at all. Like, if we're going to try to make any of this work, you cannot call me babe. And she's like, yo, you're about to piss me off. And I don't know, like, for him, I think is not into her whatsoever. Again, it just goes back to, why did you even choose Amaya? I don't really understand, but I do get it, because that word to me can be not aggressive, but it can just get a little annoying, especially if someone is just constantly calling you that. And if you don't want to be called that word, I do get it. But at the same time, like, I can't even imagine just being like, hey, can you not call me that? I really don't want you to call me that. And I get it on her perspective. Her calling him that is a trigger, because especially if he just genuinely isn't into her and doesn't want to be coupled up with her, and then she's just constantly walking around, babe, babe, babe. Maybe for him too, perception, if she's just walking around calling him that, and people see that and perceive, oh, okay, maybe they're together. I don't know. I think he has the ick from her, which is like, then why did you even choose her from the beginning? It's so confusing. But again, I just think there was not necessarily anyone else available for him to choose. And I think if he coupled up with Chelley, then I think he was going down that path of having to be with her until the end. And I don't think that is something that he wants to do, because I just honestly think he's here for Love Island. I think he's here for the fun. I think he's here for the vibes. I also foresee him thinking about Casa Amor. And I just think he's waiting for Casa Amor and doesn't want to be in anything serious. He wants to have fun. He wants to go over there, no strings attached, come back, and then maybe that's where he kind of lands his relationship, or not. Like, I honestly just don't think he wants to be in anything, and he's literally just here for the vibes. The problem, Ace, is if you're just here for the vibes, you're not going to stick around until the end. Like, you do have to make genuine connections. And I just think him choosing Amaya is one big strike. It should be one big strike for Chelley. And I think, Ace, you have honestly 3 strikes. And if you do not choose Chelley in the next recoupling, then I think you're done. You know what? You get 2 strikes. Because I think 3 strikes is too many. I don't think you have that many strikes on Love Island. And I'm already going to say he's going to have a strike in Casa Amor, because there is no way that Ace is going to be loyal in Casa Amor with whoever he may potentially be with already in the villa. So I just thought him and Amaya was just, honestly, throughout episode 6 and 7, these two literally hate each other. You could literally see that they do not like each other at all. And I don't know, I just think Amaya isn't necessarily connecting with anyone, and I don't think she's gonna last long at all, unless there's bombshells that come in the next few episodes that she really gels with and gets a good vibe from them. But I don't know, there's something about her that I don't feel personally connected with her. When she's on my screen, I don't particularly enjoy watching her. I kind of think she's a little bit of a hot mess, a little bit of a wild card, a loose cannon. So if she were to go, I wouldn't be upset. And I honestly just don't see her having any sort of connection with anyone in the villa unless a bombshell comes in and she hits it off with them. What I thought was really interesting, though, was when Ace was telling her all this stuff, that he wants to be open, he wants to explore other things, she should as well. The first person that she ran to cry essentially on their shoulder was Huda, which was so interesting because Huda was the first, literally called her a B word, right? As soon as she walked in, she's just calling her B word left, right, and center. And so for her to go up to Huda to cry to her, I thought that was so interesting. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know if she's even maybe connecting with a lot of the girls. I don't know. I just think she's maybe a little on the outs. There's just something about her. I can't pinpoint it, but I don't know. I think the fact that Ace chose her and then right away tells her, I don't necessarily want to be with you. I want to explore. And I get where he's coming from because it's day 6, day 7, whatever it may be. So I get it. You're on Love Island. You don't want to be married, right? You don't want to be locked down in the first week, especially. So I get his point of view, but I also get her point of view where it was like, why would you tell me this right now? Why didn't you wait until at least tomorrow? So they're definitely not a thing whatsoever. I think they honestly despise each other. And Ace is finding himself sleeping in Soul Tides because he just cannot stand the fact of sleeping beside Amaya, which is so sad. You know, you can sleep in the same bed and just sleep butt to butt. You don't have to cuddle or anything like that. But just it really goes to show he cannot stand the girl. He has the ick from her. And I'm just like, why did you choose her in the beginning? This was all you. You're the one that chose her, and now you're the one that's sleeping in Soul Tides. This is a product of your decisions. So you need to live with your decisions. Now he's kind of running away from his decisions and is taking, I don't even want to say it's the easy way out because it's not. It is what it is. He's sleeping outside. That's his choice. But he doesn't need to do that. It's not like he got in this massive blow up fight and it's so awkward. I get it's awkward, but I don't think he needed to go into Soul Tides to sleep, right? And I don't know. I think he did this all to himself. He has himself only to blame, but I think he has a hidden agenda. I really do. And I think his agenda is that he wants to bounce around girl to girl to girl, and he wants to go ham in Casa Amor so that he doesn't necessarily need to be tied to anyone. Then in Casa Amor, he can have his choice of whoever he wants to be with and bring them into the villa. Or he might be like, you know what? I want to come back to Chelley and this is going to be our love story or whatever it is. So I don't know. Hey, you never know. They technically knew each other from outside of the villa. So could you imagine if Ace and Chelley had this pact and was like, okay, this is how we're going to play the game. We're going to, catch feelings in the villa, pretend like I'm going to come to you, you're going to go to me, and we're going to go back and forth, chicken and the egg kind of thing, but we're never going to couple up. And then we're going to go to Casa Amor, we're going to have our fun, and we're just going to come back to the villa single, and then we're going to shock everyone because we're coming single, and then we're going to couple up together, and then we're going to win the whole thing. You never know. You never know. Anything is possible. So I think at the end of the day, Ace, you did it to yourself, and now enjoy sleeping outside because that is a product of your decisions. Olandria and Taylor this episode, and even in episode 7, I am not buying what they're trying to sell us at all. I really am not. I genuinely do not think Olandria is into Taylor. I don't think Taylor is into Olandria. I think they're just trying to fake it right now so that they can stay coupled up, so that in the event there is a recoupling, they are able to stay in the villa. But I'm not buying it. I'm really not. And I do think if a man walks in through those doors that's Olandria's type, I think she might jump ship. And same for Taylor too. Like, there's no physical connection between them at all. And they were having a conversation in this episode where Olandria was like, yeah, like, I just don't even think that we say good morning to each other. And they see how further along other couples are, which is funny to me because I actually don't think any couple is further along aside from Jeremiah and Huda, but they're a hot mess. So you cannot compare yourself to those two. You do not want to be like that toxic couple. And she's, they just keep talking about that they like each other, but they're not taking any actions. And it's just like, maybe take a step back and say, if I'm not putting in the effort to touch her arm, to touch his leg, to sit together, to cuddle, to kiss, like whatever it is, if you're not finding yourself putting in that effort, then you need to look at that relationship and say, maybe this just isn't it. Maybe we genuinely just really love each other, like each other as friends, but it just stops there. There's just no romantic connection whatsoever. I don't see it whatsoever at all. I just think it feels so forced. I feel like it's so awkward. Like, she's telling him, can you put your hand on my leg or something? Like, do something. And when they got up from that conversation, he just kissed her. And she was like, oh my gosh. Like, she was shocked. And it's just like, in episode 6, and you've been paired with him since day 1, if you're shocked that he's kissed you, then that kind of speaks volumes, right? Like, she says that was the first kiss after the challenge. The challenge was a few episodes ago. So I just think they are both kind of skating by. I think they're both waiting until someone better comes into the villa for both of them. I also do think that maybe they were like, in the first time that they met and coupled up in the first episode, I do genuinely think that they really wanted to try to make it work. But listen, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes having conversations. And if they've been together now almost a week and they don't have that physical attraction, then that literally tells you verbatim, maybe this isn't going to work in the long run. Because at the end of the day, that is an unsung thing. Physical attraction, connection, that energy, that does not come. I mean, I don't know. I think people can maybe say it comes with time. I just think that if you're with someone right from the beginning and it's not there, then I think it's not going to be there 6 months from now, a week from now, 6 weeks from now, whenever it is. I think it can fizzle throughout a relationship. I think that is common. And then you kind of have to figure out how to, make it work and how to spark that flame throughout your relationship. But if that flame isn't there from the beginning, then you just got to leave, right? You just got to find someone else that is going to ignite that flame. And I think, yeah, maybe they're just really good friends, and that's honestly all I am seeing at this point. That's honestly all I'm seeing. And they go into the photo booth and it was so awkward, like so awkward. They were just trying so hard. They were trying way too hard. And I think maybe she's trying to prove it to herself. Like, oh no, I can throw myself on top of him and then he's going to be into me. If we just kiss passionately, then he is going to be super into me. And maybe he is thinking the same thing. I honestly don't know what is necessarily going on in their mind, but I think they're just trying to force it at this point, and it's just not working. It's just not working at all. And I'm curious to see when new bombshells come into the villa. I'm curious to see if anything sparks that flame inside of either one of them, both of them, whatever it may be. But there's no way these two are making it to the end of the show. There's no way. They can't. I just think they're trying to be like Cordell and Serena, where, remember, Serena and Cordell just started off so slow. It was kind of a little bit of like chicken or the egg too, where one of them wanted the other, but the other one didn't, and then the other one wanted the other, and then they didn't, and then they kind of just both came together, and it was a very slow burn. And I find that word being used a lot in this season. I don't necessarily remember that word being used in other seasons. And I think it's just, again, tying it back to the Serena and Cordell kind of relationship where it was a slow burn, but then it sparked into this, beautiful relationship. They won the show and now they're still together to this day. And I think they're trying to not replicate it, but I do think in the back of their minds too, they were like, oh, that can be us. And I think we can have that slow burn just like them. But I think this is just a lot different because they literally just don't have, to me, physical attraction for each other. I don't see the chemistry at all. Whereas I do think with Serena and Cordell, they had that. It was just a matter of, did one person and the other person like each other? And then they kind of just finally both came together and, the history is there. But I just think they're trying, I think they're very aware of I know they're very aware of what happened last season. And I think that's maybe in the back of their minds, what they're not even trying to achieve, but maybe they just know the slow burn was there and they know that, okay, over time, maybe it'll work. I just think everything is just so forced. Like I think it was episode 7 where, he planned the whole dance date and he kissed her in front of everyone. It's just forced. It's just too forced. And I think they're trying to convince themselves, but they're also trying to convince everyone else that they are the it couple. They are it for each other, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. And again, when there's new bombshells that enter the villa, watch out. Watch out. All right, let's get into the couple that I really hate talking about, or I love to hate talking about. Let's put it like that. Huda and Jeremiah. I'm shocked. I'm so surprised that they got a date. I'm shocked. I'm surprised that they were the first ones, but I guess too, though, they're literally the only couple that are technically in the villa right now. There really isn't a couple that we are all rallying for. There isn't. Isn't that crazy? We're already a week into the season. Typically, there's a couple from the beginning that we're all rooting for, that we're like, oh, they're 100% making it to the end. There is literally not a single couple at all right now that, number one, I'm rooting for, and number two, that I think is going to make it to the end. And I just think maybe too, it's these people are just so aware of last year, and I think they're just trying, I don't know, I just think they're just trying to be very strategic with everything. I think there are certain people that are very genuine, like Chelley. I think she's very genuine, but I also think there's other people that are just being super calculated. I really do. And that being calculated doesn't come off as genuine. It doesn't, we're smarter than that. As the audience, we know what we're doing. We know what we're watching. And I think, especially if you're not genuine, you're not going to win, right? If we don't buy you as a couple, if we know that you're in it for the money, aka Jeremiah, if we know that you just want to win the show, you're not going to win. You're not going to make it far because us, the audience, we're not going to let you get that far. So anyways, I'm shocked that they got to leave the villa and have their own little date. They went to a water park. They go, going down the water slides and all that stuff. And in this date, they're talking about life outside of the villa. And I don't know what it is about these two, but they really just jump to life outside of the villa. And, she's telling him that she packs lunches for her daughter every day. And it's just so funny because his reaction, he was like, wow, you have to pack lunches? Oh, wow, you're an adult or you're it's just crazy. I just feel like he can't physically comprehend the fact that she is a mom. And she tells him about her co-parenting style, that it's super easy, that she has her daughter throughout the week and then her ex, whatever, her baby daddy has her daughter on the weekends. And Jeremiah says, he's never dated a girl, talked to a girl that has had a kid. And I think for him, he is just really processing it all. And I do too get it from his perspective, because I think it's a lot to take on. I do. Like, I think someone that has a kid, it's a lot to take on. And Nick said it in one of the episodes that I'll talk about in a bit. I think it might have been episode 8, but Nick says it, and he's like, the perception is if you date someone with a kid, it can be perceived as a burden, right? And it shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be a burden at all. But you also, that's a big deal. It is. There are people that are super okay with dating someone with a kid. I also think it's timing too. Everyone on Love Island is so young, right? And I think it's very different for someone like Jeremiah that's 25 to maybe feel a little bit uneasy talking to someone with a kid than maybe someone who is 35. It's two very different things, two very different stages of lives. And I can't fault Jeremiah for feeling a little bit, I don't even know if the word is uneasy, but I know he's processing it all. I can't fault him for that, because I get it. I put myself in his shoes when I was 25. That literally would have freaked me out too. And I think he's just trying to process it all. And I also just think he doesn't want to be perceived as an asshole to the audience, because if he finds out from Huda that she's a mom and he leaves the next day, kind of what Ace did to Amaya, and was like, listen, the door's open. I'm cool to keep chatting with you, but I also want to see what's on the other side. If he did that, he would look like an ass, right? And I think he's very aware of that. So I do think he's kind of being strategic in how he's approaching the situation, because I think he's scared. And I think it's okay for him to feel those things. I do. I don't think it makes him look like a bad guy at all. I don't. And I also think too, the fact that she hid it for so long from him, I think that threw him for a loop. And I think, he was feeling all of these feelings for her from the beginning. And then she tells him that she has a daughter. And then however many days later, 4 or 5 days later, and then what is he supposed to think? And so now he's just processing everything. Yeah, I get it. I get that maybe he is struggling a little bit. I get it. I really do. And I think too, if I was him, I think he should be honest with her, because Huda's people ask Huda, oh, how do you take that you have a kid? And she's like, oh, he loves kids. He's great. No problems. No problems here. I think he needs to be honest with her. He needs to be honest. Look, I love that you're a mom. I want to get to know more about you. I want to get to know more about your daughter. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is hard for me. It's hard for me. But I'm opening myself to be open to the fact that you are a mom. I really like you. I like what we have. I want to see where this goes. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm scared. I've never dated anyone that is a mother before. I've never dated anyone with a child. This is very new for me. I'm processing it all. Just if I need to take it slow. We need to take it slow, because this is just a lot for me. He needs to have that conversation with her. He's not having that conversation with her. And so she's just going literal crazy, because she's just trying to claim him and just locking him down. And this guy is just, I think he's just scared. And I think too, she isn't doing herself any favors, because she is just going so full throttle at him and just going so hard in on this relationship and claiming him and wrapping herself around him, literally, physically, all of those things. And I think he is just feeling super overwhelmed. I think it warrants him having a very tough conversation with her, an honest conversation with her, and honestly, put it on her, because he needs to have that conversation with her. And if she doesn't like what she's hearing, then she needs to leave. She needs to leave, because if he's going to be honest with her about the way that he feels, and she takes that as a personal attack or something, then that's on her because that's how she's taking it. And he's, he doesn't mean it in that way. He's just being honest. I honestly think she would leave. And you know what? Fine. Good riddance. Leave him. No one wants you on this show anymore. She is just so annoying. She is way too much. But I do think Jeremiah needs to be honest. I think I can tell he is going on a downward spiral. I can really tell that he is internalizing his feelings, and especially too because the guys don't know yet. He has no one to talk to about it. Okay, I think in this episode he talks to one of the girls about it, but it's not the same, right? Like, he wants to talk to one of his boys about it. He wants a guy's opinion, and I get it. And I just think when you internalize your feelings, when you internalize your thoughts, that just bottles up inside of you, and it is a recipe for disaster. It is not good. You cannot internalize your feelings, and I just think he is so overwhelmed. You can see it. Like, do these guys look miserable together? Do they look happy? Have we seen Jeremiah smile with Huda? I don't think I have. I don't think I've seen Jeremiah smile. I just think he's so overwhelmed. And I think he's trying to convince himself that he likes her. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe just trying to tell himself, look, she just told you that she's a mom. You cannot just leave her. It's going to make you look really bad. And I think that sucks for him because I also just think her being a mom is not the reason why he's feeling all of these different things. She is literally so possessive. She is literally, like I said, just trying to claim him and clinch onto him. And the little things that she says to him and just treats him like a kid. Honestly, it's not the fact that she has a kid. It's also the fact that she just treats him like a child. And she just honestly is just so possessive. And I think it's just bad timing. And it's a tough situation. I just don't think he wants to be perceived like an asshole, honestly. And I think he thinks, oh man, if I leave this girl, it's going to look like I don't want to be with her because she has a kid. But I think at the end of the day, we all know what he is dealing with. And I think him leaving Huda is not, I wouldn't take it as, oh, he's leaving her because she has a kid. It's literally because she's literal craziness. She is crazy. And it gets worse. Every episode, she gets worse and worse and worse. And it's like, one episode you think it's bad and you're like, how can it get worse? It gets worse in the next episode. It's crazy. It's wild. It's actually so wild how, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's trying to prove. She asks him if he's closed off. And he's just like, listen, it's early. It's too early. And she's like, oh, so you're waiting for someone better? Like, she always has a response. She always has an answer for everything that he says to her. Like, she always spins it and tries to make it negative on his end. Like, it's so conniving. It's crazy. Like, she's crazy. She's literally just trying to spin negativity and make him feel like he's the bad guy in every situation. And he's like, no, like, I'm not saying it's because I'm waiting for someone better. I'm literally saying it because we're on day 6. Do you not understand that? I didn't come into Love Island to be married from day 1. Just give me a break. Like, I need to breathe. Oh man, I actually feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I actually want him to stay in the villa because I do think he's not a bad guy. I just think he coupled up with the wrong girl and he's just going through it. And you know what I also noticed about him is he doesn't really have many confessionals. Like, I don't know. I've also seen that online too a little bit. If you think about it, there's tons of olandria confessionals, tons of Ace confessionals, even Austin, even Chelley. Like, so a lot of people have a lot of confessionals. Jeremiah, I barely see him having any confessionals. And so I'm genuinely curious why, because confessionals is like one-on-one time with the Islander and the audience. We know exactly what they're feeling, what they're saying, what's going on in their mind. It's one-on-one. And so I'm like, what is Jeremiah saying in his confessionals that they're not sharing? Is it negative? Is it positive? Either way, it could paint him and his relationship with Huda in a very different light, which can be really interesting, right? So it's all about editing. It's all about editing and what they choose to show us. And if they're not showing his confessionals, there has to be a reason. I don't know. I just find that interesting. All right, let's get into episode 7. And you know what? Let's just continue it with Jeremiah and Huda because I've been talking about them the past 10 minutes. Let's just keep rolling with them. So what's crazy is, again, like on their date at the water park, they're talking about life outside of the villa. Are they going to live together? What is all that stuff going to look like? And then Huda again is talking about seeing life outside of the villa with Jeremiah and like talking to him about, no, like I genuinely see us working outside of the villa. And I'm like, girl, it's day 7. It's day 7. You are literally driving this guy away from you. Every single time you open your mouth, he wants to just backpedal away from you. He essentially says to her, which I find so hilarious, he's like, listen, as of right now, I'm not pursuing other people. As of right now. Which I find, you know what, good for him because he's being honest. He's being honest. He's saying, as of right now, I'm not pursuing anyone, but the door might be open. There's a little crack in my door that I might let someone into. And look, every episode, the cracks are getting deeper and deeper and deeper with this relationship. They really are. It takes one bombshell to enter the villa to turn his head. And I'm telling you right now, when it is the right bombshell, it'll happen. It will. Because I think this guy is so fed up. He's like, what did I get myself into with this craziness of a girl? And he honestly just sounds so fed up. And I think he's staying with her for a few reasons. And I just talked about why. But I also just think too, if he were to leave Huda, if he were to just say, listen, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. It's too much. You're too much for me. It's too much, too fast. I'm overwhelmed. I'm done. Well, then who is he going to couple up with? Right? Who's he going to couple up with? So I also think too, just coupled up with everything that I just said about why I think he hasn't left her yet, I also think too, he can't couple up with anyone else. I guess maybe he could couple up with Amaya. But then I guess too, I think they're so aware of how they're being perceived. I don't see Jeremiah doing that to Huda. I don't. I honestly think he's very aware. I think it'll take a bombshell for him to turn his head, but I also think too for him, what will make him fully be into this experience is if Huda's gone. And that can't happen unless he couples up with someone else. Or if us, the audience, have the option to vote someone out. Because we all know we're voting out Huda. 100%. No one can stand her. And I thought this whole time when I was recapping the first few episodes, I was like, I can't stand them. I can't stand Huda and Jeremiah. They're annoying to me. But it's not Huda and Jeremiah. It's Huda. She's the problem. She's literally the problem that all of us have. She's just so annoying. I'm fed up, let alone Jeremiah. I'm fed up. All of America's fed up. I just want to see Jeremiah in a happy relationship. And I want to see him with someone else. How is Jeremiah with other people? We feel like we're seeing the toxic side of him come out, which is why we're feeling this way towards Jeremiah. But I think as we're seeing Huda literally open her mouth and saying all these conniving things to him, it's like, okay, now we get it. Now we see why he is acting this way, why he's so down, why he's so low energy, why he is feeling so upset all the time. It's because she's bringing him down. And I would like to see him happy. I would like to see him explore their connections, but it can't happen unless she's gone. So, I mean, it would be really awesome to see a bombshell come in, him turn his head, go for a chat, and then they, connect and couple up and she leaves. But I don't know if we're going to get that. I think something bigger needs to happen in order for him to jump ship from Huda. I really do. And she treats him like a baby in this episode again. Like, she proceeds to tell him, you're doing so great. You're doing great. And I can't remember exactly what he was doing when she said this, but he was like, he gets mad at her. He's like, don't talk to me like a child. Like, rightfully so. Like, she talks so down to him. It's crazy. And then she says to him, like, she turns back and she's like, oh, you want to shower tonight? So, like, she's talking down to him. He then gets, kind of mad at her. She then says, oh, you want to shower? And then he's like, yo, you're gaslighting me. Like, and that's such a strong word. Like, if someone says to you, you're gaslighting them, I don't think that's someone that you want to be with. Like, that is not someone that you should sleep in bed with at night. It's so toxic. It's crazy to me that they are just still together. It's so wild. So wild. The last thing that I want to say about these two, because I need to move on. Jeremiah, I can't understand the guy. I literally had to put on closed captions to understand him, to literally read what he's saying, because I don't understand him. He's mumbling all the time. I don't understand what he's saying. And I find it so funny because anytime I'm watching the show, I literally never use closed captions, ever. But I have to for Love Island because I don't understand what Jeremiah is saying. I don't know if anyone else has had to do this too, but I just find it so funny that he's just mumbling. And I'm like, are you mumbling because you literally just don't want Huda to know what you're saying underneath your breath? Because it's not positive. But I don't know. This guy, I feel bad for him. I feel like he's mumbling too because he's just like so low energy and he's just like, I hate this girl, whatever. But I don't know. Literally, let's move on from these two because I'm absolutely just so exhausted. Austin and Chelley, let's touch on them a little bit because I don't understand these two. I really don't. And I do think Austin is into Chelley. I do. Like, I buy that he's into her. I don't buy that Chelley is into Austin. I don't. Austin says that, it's hard for him to see Chelley with Ace. And I get it. Like, if you're super into someone, and if that person, I think is too what's tough, is because Austin is into Chelley, but Ace is still sticking around Chelley. And so it's not allowing Austin to fully embrace this couple with Chelley because Ace is just in the shadows, in and out. I don't know. I don't know what Ace's whole thing is, but it's like, literally, Ace, you literally could have chosen Chelley. You were the first person to go before Austin. You could have chosen her. And so if Austin is coupled up with her, like, let Austin be coupled up with her. And I get it that you want to explore their connections. Like, I totally get it. But you literally coupled up with Maya. You coupled up with her. And then you proceed to tell Amaya, oh, no. I'm open. I just want to chat, but I want to explore other connections. But then you're sticking around in Austin and Chelley's relationship. Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's fair. But again, like, I don't see Austin and Chelley at all. I think Chelley, I don't know. She says that she's into Austin, but I don't buy it. Like, she's like, oh, I'm in this love triangle, Austin and Ace, and I don't see it. I literally don't. Like, I don't buy it. I think Austin, honestly, would be into anyone. Like, let's be honest. This guy gives me the creeps. But especially, I'll get to the next episode. He gives me the ick, quite honestly. But I don't buy the relationship. I really don't. And I think Chelley is waiting around for someone better. I do, which is fine. It's totally fair. But I feel bad that she had to be coupled up with this guy now for a week. But Ace just really threw me for a loop. I think he threw the whole villa for a loop, choosing Amaya. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And now he's trying to be in Chelley's good books, trying to take her for the yoga date, trying to make her breakfast, trying to do all these things. It's just, I don't get it. Why didn't he just couple up with her? I don't know. These men, that's why I started this episode saying we need new men, because I just feel like these men aren't like, you talk about The Bachelor, here for the right reasons. Like, I feel like they're not here for the right reasons. I just feel like they've watched last season. They have a hidden agenda. They don't necessarily want to couple up right from the beginning. They want to have like a certain come up with the relationship that is like a wow factor, that it's like, oh, the audience is really rooting for them. And it's not from the beginning. It's kind of like a slow burn. And then in the end, it's like, oh, wow, look how far they come. All these things. Like, I feel like they're just so aware of last season. And I think they're just trying too hard. Like, why can't we just have a couple? I mean, I get it though. You're on Love Island. But like, why can't there just be a couple where they're like, I'm in it. You're my person. Let's go. There really isn't. But I mean, I guess that just makes for a messy season. I think so. The real drama from this episode was when Amaya and Chelley have an argument. I mean, Amaya goes in on Chelley, and it's just like, Amaya, like, you were doing way too much. Like, Chelley does not deserve to be talked to like that, because Chelley didn't do anything. I was totally on Team Chelley in this, because Amaya had no right to tell Chelley otherwise. Like, it's not Shelley's fault that Ace didn't couple up with her. It's not Shelley's fault that Ace chose Amaya to couple up with, but is now deciding to explore his connection with Chelley. Like, that's not Shelley's fault. If you're going to be mad at anyone, then be mad at Ace. But you can't be mad at Chelley. And, she confronts Chelley in front of all the girls, and she just goes in on her. And she's like, so what's going on between you and Ace? And she had no business to do that. She did it. Like, if you wanted to go at someone, then do that to Ace. Say, so what's going on between you and Chelley? Why did you choose to couple up with me, but you're exploring Chelley? Explain, please. Like, I get if she did that, but for her to go up to Chelley, she had no right to do that whatsoever. And this girl cannot have a conversation with anyone without talking over them. She literally was just talking over Chelley the whole time. Chelley literally couldn't get a word in at all, to the point where one of the girls had to jump in and was like, Amaya, let her talk. Let her say something. And she was like, let Chelley finish her sentence. When she's done talking and you hear a pause, then you can talk. Like, the fact that they had to tell her how to have a conversation, it's crazy to me. I don't know. I really do not care for Amaya. I really don't. And I think, too, the fact that she went in on the girl that all of us really genuinely love, you're not in our good books, girl. You're not in our good books whatsoever. And Shelley's like, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've been very clear from the beginning. I told Ace, I'm open. I told Austin, I'm open. Those are the guys that need to know that I'm open. It doesn't matter for you. I'm telling the guys that I'm open. So Amaya had absolutely no business to do that at all. And I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking. Just think she had no business going up to Chelley. She had no business telling Chelley that she's messy. She just had literally no business to do that. And I think, listen, if you want to have a conversation with Chelley to say, hey, look, I know you like Ace. I like Ace. I understand that you're going to explore your connection with Ace, but I also want you to know that, like, that's something that I want you to do too. But then she can also say, look, like, I'm kind of hurt that he chose to couple up with me, but he instantly wants to explore you. Like, she can have a conversation like that, and I think that is respectable. But for her to literally come at her, yell at her in front of all the girls, it was too much. We're not here for it. Kind of waiting for you to go, quite honestly. And I don't enjoy watching her whatsoever. I don't think she adds anything to the show. I actually think she's very annoying. And I think she actually is, I don't know the right word, but I think, she's not adding anything. So that's not a positive, right? So then Amaya goes to Ace. And I just thought it was so funny when, again, Ace is telling her how a conversation works. He's like, look, you are going to talk and I'm going to stay quiet. I then am going to talk and you're going to stay quiet. Because Ace is so calm. He's cool. He's collected. Like, his demeanor is so calm. Like, anyone that would talk to him would instantly feel zen. Because that's just how he talks. He's a very calming by nature person. And I just think it's so funny that all of these people have to tell this girl how to have a conversation because she literally can't stop talking. But she's nonstop talking over him, yelling at him. Her hands are going everywhere. She basically at the end of the conversation was like, I'm not going to explore you anymore. I'm done. And this whole time, Ace is like so calm. Like, he doesn't raise his voice at all. And I don't know if that's his demeanor naturally. I don't know if that's maybe his on-camera demeanor where he's just very calm, very chill. But speaking of chill, Amaya has literally no chill. Like, she literally has zero chill and she goes off on him, and that is the end of their relationship. The absolute end. He is now, for the next foreseeable future, sleeping in soul ties. They cannot stand each other. Is there any other couple that was on the show that genuinely, like, despised each other like these two? It's so crazy. And the fact that this was all Ace is doing is beyond me. Like, it's wild. Like, it'd be different if she chose him. It'd be totally different. But he chose her. I don't understand. So, anyways, they're done. And she needs to go. Honestly, she needs to go. In this episode, like, I just found, like, no one was building any sort of connections. Like, literally everyone's falling apart. From Huda and Jeremiah to Amaya and Ace to Austin and chelley, kind of, him basically being jealous of what chelley has with Ace. Like, literally all of these couples are falling apart. There is no one that we are rooting for. No one at all. I'm not even rooting for Nick and Sierra because I honestly think someone is going to turn Nick's head. I think someone is going to turn Nick's head. But the problem is Nick, you've already done it once. You've already done it once. Can you do it again? Can you do it a second time? And then a third time in Casa Amor? I don't know. But I just do not think, I don't buy that Nick and Sierra are endgame. I don't. I really don't. Jeremiah and Nick go and have a conversation. Literally, everyone is falling apart. Jeremiah goes and tells Nick that he's like, I feel like I cannot do it with Hood anymore. Like, he'll, go and bring her breakfast and she'll be like, oh, you did good. You did so good. And again, he's telling Nick that he feels like he's being talked down to, like she's talking to a child. And Nick says something that's like, okay, like, I think Nick is looking from the outside. I think Nick and Jeremiah are bros, like good bros. And he says, he's very honest with Jeremiah. He's like, I feel like she is very fraudulent. That's a very big word. Like, not big word, but like, that's a big word to say. In the sense of, wow, like, you feel like she's being fraudulent the way that she's going about the experience. That's a big statement. Not a big word. That's a big statement to make, right? And I think if Nick is looking on the outside in and telling Jeremiah this, it's kind of crazy to me that Jeremiah isn't leaving this relationship ASAP. But I do think he's kind of taking in everything that everyone is saying to him. And I think, again, like I said, he's just bottling it up inside and he's going to explode at some point. But the fact that Nick, his best buddy in this house, is literally telling him, like, the way she's going about this is fraudulent, that's a bold statement to make. And I think he is like not going to forget. He's not going to forget all of these different conversations with all these people that he's having, and it's only a matter of time that he just cannot do it anymore. He can't, you know, and rightfully so. Literally, no one will blame you, Jeremiah. No one. We will not blame you for leaving Huda. So we get a game in this episode, and it's the pie game. And essentially, someone goes up to the podium, they ask a question, and then they have to answer who is best suited, like who the best suited person is for the question. That person comes up, and then they have to like throw this disc that either has a kiss on one side and a pie on the other, and whatever it lands on, they need to do that with that person. And let me just say this. There has got to be a weight on that disc, because the amount of times it landed on pie versus kiss, like the ratio, there's no way. Like, so many people were getting pied to the face. So many people. I'm like, this had to have been rigged somehow. And I'm like, the only way that could have happened is if there was like a little weight in there that made it more susceptible for you to land on the pie. And there would be questions like, for Chelley, for example, which Islander do you think's regret coupling up with their partner? Which is so funny. And again, it's like, obviously production is choosing very specific questions that they know would be the answer, right? So like, they know that Chelley would have picked Ace, because then Chelley and Ace would kiss if it landed on the kiss. But if not, then Chelley's gonna pie Ace to the face, and that's great too. So it's very, very specific. They're obviously trying to show and push a narrative to the Islanders. Like for this one, for example, where it was like, which Islander do you think would fake a relationship to make it to the finals? Olandria was like Jeremiah. Well, that is pushing the narrative that all of us, first of all, know it's to be true, that Jeremiah is here to win, because we saw Jeremiah literally say to Huda, when we win this thing, right? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like too, if I was ever on a reality show, you gotta pay attention to the details. You need to, because it's the producer's way of telling you, the people that are on the show, something. It's a little glimpse into what is going on behind the scenes, different conversations that you're not a part of. It's really telling. And I don't know if anyone really, I mean, I don't know. Did they really catch on to that? Like, I feel like no one really was like, oh, Jeremiah, he wants to win? Why? Like, what is happening? Like, what did he say? Why would you think that way? And all these things. Like, I feel like no one was really like that. And to me, that would be a massive red flag. It should be a massive red flag to Huda. He literally said to her, if we win this thing, he said it to her. And the fact that that's not a red flag for her, and if they make it to the end, you don't think that he's going to keep the money for himself? Oh my gosh, honestly. But anyways, yeah, I just think it's so interesting in games like this where production, it's so specific who they choose and why they choose them, and the questions and the people that they ask the questions, because it's all set up. It's perfectly set up. It's perfect. And I don't know if they are thinking that way. I don't think they think that way. They should. Because if you've watched any reality show, if you've watched Love Island, you know that production is setting you up. And I think too, I do think that production is telling them certain things that are going on around on social media, like what we're all saying. Because this was back when Beldasha was still on, but Nick called Bella Beldasha. There's no way he made that up himself. There's no way. So I think production told Beldasha, like, look, everyone online is calling you Beldasha. And then obviously she told the people in the villa, told Nick, and then he started calling her Beldasha. Like, I just think, obviously they're not going to spoil anything and they're not going to spill anything. But I do think there's little things that they're saying that people are saying online and they're telling them. And I find that very interesting. I find it fascinating, the fact that it's just all live and they maybe potentially get to hear what is actually going on social media, just a little bit, a little sprinkle of it. I find it fascinating. You can be so strategic with this game too. Like, in this game, if, let's say I wanted to couple up with Taylor, let's just say, for example, well, then if I go up there and they ask me a question and the clear answer is Ace, but I want to maybe potentially kiss Taylor, well, then I'm just going to say Taylor. And so hope that the disc that I throw lands on Kiss and I can kiss Taylor. Like, it's just it's a way that you can essentially kiss outside of your couples, right? Like, if you maybe have a liking to someone, but you're too shy to maybe pull them for a chat, and then you pull them in for a kiss in this challenge. Again, people, aside from Huda, know that it's a challenge and they're not going to get upset. But if you have this great kiss in the challenge, maybe that person's like, oh, like maybe they'll turn their head and be like, oh, wow, like that was a great kiss. Maybe I want to get to know them better. So you can be very strategic in these games and go about it that way. And we kind of saw some of the people did go about it that way. Like, I mean, one of the guys pulled the guys, which is kind of weird, and they kiss each other on cheek. Two of the girls pulled each other. I was like, I didn't know we could go outside genders, but I guess like it happened. Wasn't it last season when two of the girls, like Johnny and what was her name? I totally forgot. Johnny and no, that was 2 seasons ago when we thought we were on the edge of our seat with the recoupling. We thought they were going to end up together and couple up with each other, but they didn't. But, I mean, who knows? I guess anything is possible on Love Island. All right, so at the very end of the episode, the guys and Jeremiah are sitting down, chatting all about, just the day in the life of Jeremiah and Huda. And the guys are telling Jeremiah, like, I think Huda was scared to say the real answers during the challenge because she's just trying to be friends with everyone, and she's not trying to say what she thinks. And again, Nick is bringing up that word fraudulent again. He's like, the way that she is just going about this experience, it just seems so fake. And he just thinks, like, sometimes I just think she's so closed off, and she thinks that she's playing it safe, and she's taking this whole experience, just taking the safe route. And that really got into Jeremiah's head. And so Huda and Jeremiah have a conversation because Huda and Jeremiah were like around each other, and Huda was like, what's wrong? Like freaking out, like, because he's acting quiet. She's like, what's wrong with you? Pulls her aside and tells her what the guys are saying, and she literally goes off. Like, she freaks out. Like, she is just so possessive. She is so controlling. She is so manipulative of every single situation where anything she puts on to other people, it's like, no, I'm in no wrong. I am the most perfect person. I've done nothing wrong. It is, oh, why is he saying this about me? Why are you saying this about me? You shouldn't feel this type of way. It's like no one else can have an opinion except herself. And when she has an opinion, she's like the loudest person in the room. So, I don't know. I'm just like, these two need to be done. They're so toxic. And I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go from here. Like, this conversation can go 2 ways. It can literally just be, oh, okay, so that's how you want to be. That's how you want to react. Like, I don't want to be with you anymore because you're literally just acting crazy. Like, I was quiet for a minute. Stop asking me what is wrong every 2 seconds. Like, what if I just don't want to talk? Literally, what if I just don't want to talk to you? So I don't want to be with you. We need to move on because this isn't working. Or it just is like a little hiccup in their relationship and they move forward, which I'm going to be honest, at this point in episode 7, that's what I think is going to happen. I just don't think Jeremiah has the balls right now to do anything else. I really don't. I think he's scared. I actually think he's just scared of her. I really do. I think he's scared of how she would react. And I think they need to move on, and she needs to leave, and new bombshells need to enter the villa. So that was episode 6 and 7. And I think they were pretty good episodes. I think literally everyone is falling apart. If I took anything away from these episodes, these couples are literally falling apart. There's no one that we're rooting for. There isn't, which is crazy. I don't think we've necessarily had that before. So I think we're going to get new bombshells soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we got them in the next episode because I think they need a change up. They got to change it up. They need new energy in this villa because all these people be hating each other. So looking forward to next episode, and I will be back before you know it to recap the next ones because Love Island is on every day, baby, and we out here just watching episodes every single day and recapping almost every single day too. So I will be back before you know it. That'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Please rate, subscribe, review, do all of the things. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at yourrealitycheck.pod. And I cannot wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye.